Attempt to return. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Here's Chandler again, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Chandler is in. Touchdown, Bengals. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may even turn into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, 1st quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys stepped up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Here's Chandler on 2nd down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you...
He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bengals have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Trey Hendrickson, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go. Here we go. Hot. He's coming. 180. 180 hot.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness, it's been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that. But I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw is on target to Duvernay. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. That's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler, first-round pick back in 2012. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Trey Hendrickson able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
12, 12, 12. 11, 11, 11.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
4th down, out comes the punter, Drew Chrisman.
Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Returnable here from the 38.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 22 yards there. A 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Here we go.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Hey, can.
Now a handoff to Chandler.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
11 empty.
They run it with Chandler.
That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Here we go on 4th down. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Ty Chandler with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half. You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gambled with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 41. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Kill, turn up. Kill, turn up. 25, check 25, check 25. Shit. Bang, bang. Check 11, empty.
And Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Burrow. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Curtis Samuel on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. McPherson on for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp. and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw is Jackson. Flush to his right. And that's going to be caught. It's James Prochet. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Buying time to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day. All day.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down.
No, we changed it.
Again, Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Looking sideline, incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
To throw again is Jackson. And now here is another interception. And the Bengals will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 43 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Burrow escaping the pressure right. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Now when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Hey, can.
Now Chandler looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It was Justin Houston who got him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Dancing to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Completes it to Samuel. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Here's Chandler. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Burrow now off the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, First down, right? Easy play, but end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
McPherson's kick is good. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Deron Payne coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Jackson.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Trey Hendrickson make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Open man is Duvernay. And he is going to have a Ravens first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Now Jackson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Trey Hendrickson.
My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now it's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Hey, check Mike 6, Mike 6. I got you, boy.
They'll keep it on the ground. Chandler, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. On 1st down, it's Chandler, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Burrow on play action. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
He's got a man, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
On 2nd and goal, Burrow. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here, because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touch.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, That allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Now a give, right side. Chandler, and here he'll get it down to the 7. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
On 2nd down now. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal. They'll try the left side. Chandler, and this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
All right, ready? Drop deep. 11, Thomas. 36.
They'll try and run for him. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied, and the Ravens come up big down at their own goal line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
One last shot for Jackson. Forced out to his left. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football